Hello again, everyone. Hello again. Zach Attack is here with my first Attack Sports in a long time for this Monday, the morning after the Super Bowl. Monday, February the 3rd, 2014. I haven't made an Attack Sports in a few weeks because there's not a lot of sports news to carry an entire Attack line, a sports video. But there are some topics that all need to be discussed today, including, of course, the big news in the world of sports, the Super Bowl. If you didn't see my Super Bowl review on my channel, I'll give, like I said, I wanted the Broncos to win because I was in Denver when they won the AFC Championship game, and I was in Denver I wasn't at the game, but I was at the Buffalo Wild Wings at the Denver there, saw them win, and it was kind of sad to see Denver just collapse like they did in the game as Seattle's defense just pummeled them. I think the Denver Broncos, in my opinion, got stressed out after that safety. That was kind of like a weird way to kick off the game with the safety the first 12 seconds of the game. It was ironic that both halves, Seattle scored in the first 12 seconds of each half. 12th man. But there were some unique happenings after the game. I heard, I didn't see this, but I heard that Richard Sherman was conducting an interview. Some guy came out with some 9/11 conspiracy theories. That was kind of a weird situation. And now I just read this. Just minutes before I was about to make this Attack Sports today, I read this just a few minutes ago. There was rumors flying that the Super Bowl was rigged. We've heard those, speaking of conspiracy theories, you always hear conspiracy theories, but, it's rigged. Someone thought the Ravens won because it was rigged for the Ravens to win because of Ray Lewis and all that shit last year. And now this year, people believe that it was rigged again. According to an article from Hustlers.com, I just read this, NFL officials have discovered that the game was most likely rigged. NFL officials have just found clues that might prove the game was rigged last night. Officials believe the Broncos intentionally lost the championship in exchange for a large amount of money. I did heard that one of my friends told me that Peyton Manning was getting paid $16,000 a second. That may be why. My brother Max told me, if someone told me that Peyton was getting paid so much amount of money for playing the Super Bowl, maybe that's why they intentionally lost. Maybe. Super Bowl referee Terry McCauley told reporters he sensed something strange when he overheard Broncos QB Peyton Manning allegedly asked Seahawks Pete Rozelle, the coach of the Seahawks, saying, "We're going to pay up." McAuley immediately became suspicious and notified other officials, and that's when it all started. NFL are currently investigating the situation and looking for evidence. The NFL wants to get evidence to prove that the game was rigged. The NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, told reporters, "This is like Chicago White Sox scandal back in 1919. I can't believe this. They ruined the sport. I just cannot believe it." However, NFL officials do not believe every player on both teams was in a deal, but only certain players in both teams. If evidence is found the game was rigged, those players will be fined and suspended for a very long time, if not banned from playing professional football for the rest of their lives. Wow, that is just a screwy situation that's just found out. If this is true, if these rumors are true, if the game was truly rigged last night, it would be sad. It would be like, no wonder why the Super Bowl was boring. They screwed the fans over just because they want money. And if you see my UFC stuff, they always have to fight not to lose fights. Well, it may seem that way because they don't want to lose because they'll lose money. But if they lose the bigger money or whatever the point is. So if this is true, if the game was rigged last night, it would be sad to hear. Sad to hear that. And it'll make a whole lot of sense the game was kind of unexciting just because it was a fucking blowout. But to hear that the Broncos may have intentionally lose to the Seahawks, that's kind of sad to hear if that's true or not. So there you go. Super Bowl. Rumors are flying about conspiracy theories about it being rigged last night. It is currently under investigation, according to several reports. Now, on with my WWE Raw preview for this evening. Kind of a suspicious Raw tonight. We'll see how Raw can do without a certain guy from Chicago. And that's leading up to our top 5 questions that must be answered tonight for this Raw. Yeah, I got a Raw show on. Question number 5. Who will Brock Lesnar beat up tonight? Now, Brock Lesnar's been on the loose ever since the Royal Rumble. And he attacked the Big Show in that silly match that should have never happened. Because the Big Show's injured. Like I said, I understand Big Show was injured. But they shouldn't have had the match happen. Especially the way it happened with Brock Lesnar just beating up Big Show a bunch of times from chairs. He wanted Batista or Randy Orton last week, and he didn't get any of those guys. So what did he do? He interrupted a tag team match involving New Age Outlaws and Cody Rhodes and Goldust and beat the crap out of Cody Rhodes and Goldust by giving him both F5s and banging him with chairs until he broke them again like he did the Big Show. So who will be Lesnar's next victim? And will Lesnar get a title shot or not? Maybe Lesnar's in the Elimination Chamber match. Or maybe that could be happening tonight. Lesnar may be put in the Elimination Chamber match so that we can shut him up. Speaking of that tag team match that Brock Lesnar interrupted last week, it leads to this. Question number 4. What will go down in a steel cage match tonight between the New Age Outlaws and Cody Rhodes and Goldust? Like I said, thanks to Brock Lesnar's interference, the match between New Age Outlaws and Cody Rhodes and Goldust, which was a decent tag match, ended up being a no contest. So they decided to have a rematch tonight, this time in a steel cage, for the tag team championships, so no one can interfere. Well, that's a logical reason, but someone may interfere no matter what. So we'll see what shall go down this evening in that tag team title shot involving the Cody Rhodes and Goldust and New Age Outlaws. Question number 3. What will Daniel Bryan do tonight? Now, Bryan is in the Elimination Chamber match after that questionable DQ last week when the Wyatts got involved in Daniel Bryan's 6-man tag involving him, Sheamus, and John Cena against the Shield. So, and the crowd's going to go, wherever Raw is tonight, Bryan's going to get a big response tonight since Punk's not there tonight. Anyway, see what happens to Bryan. Now, question number 2. Will any new matches be made for the Elimination Chamber? Now, on SmackDown, they named the last 3 participants in the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Cena, Sheamus, and Bryan I mentioned were in the match last week at the qualifying. The match against the Shield, which led towards a 6-man tag being named Wyatts against Shield, and the Wyatts unintentionally screwed Shield out of being in the Elimination Chamber match. The last 3 participants of the Chamber match will be revealed on SmackDown. The returning question: Antonio Cesaro, actually the last 2 guys. And of course, Orton's the 6th, because you have 5 challengers. So the 5 challengers are Cena, Sheamus, Bryan, the last 2, Cesaro, and Swagger. Lost to Christian. Glad to see Christian in there. Glad to see Cesaro in there too. But I hope Cena doesn't win this chamber match. Super Cena! But Orton may win to keep this whole Batista-Orton match happening. But I don't want to see that match if you saw my woman review last week. And now, the number 1 question that must be answered tonight. Will Raw suck without CM Punk? Possibly. Of course, if you didn't see my thoughts video, of course, the big news of the entire week has been CM Punk walking out on WWE. And how ironic is it that I was watching a YouTube video the other day of WWE Confidential, an old show back in 2002, about when Stone Cold Steve Austin walked out. And I was like, you could do that entire episode again, but just replace Stone Cold's name with CM Punk. Because Stone Cold and CM Punk are both equals, because they're both rebels, and they were both pissed off about Creative. And they both walked out. That's what Punk did. He was pissed off about how Creative was treating him, and how he was shafted over the main event again at Mania because of Batista and all these part-timers, blah, 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 blah. It's sad to see Punk walk out, especially he's such a big guy now, despite still being demoted a bit by WWE. He's taking up the Mania poster. He was off of Access, so sad to see Punk leave, and I hope he can find another comeback. I'm hearing rumors that it's a walk, like what happened 3 years ago, but I'm hearing from several sources that it's not a walk. But we'll see how Raw can recover without the king of the pipe bombs and the best in the world, CM Punk, tonight on Raw at 8, 7 Central on USA Network. That is it for my Atak Sportz for today. See you later for my Raw review tonight. With that in mind, you've all been attacked by the news, sports news. I'm Zach. Thank you again for watching. See you later. Yeah.